This week's vlog, we travel to Cowdenbeath, Scotland. With the weather set to be a little bit mixed, is this going to be another vlog of positive one day, negative the other? Sod's law. Watch the rest to find out.
I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now.
Good morning. So it is Saturday morning. We have a 4.5 hour drive to Scotland. So Chris Butcher is behind me towing a couple of Stoxkarts as well. He's renting one out to someone to do with the track. We could have set off a bit earlier. It's about 9 o'clock now, but Chris did about 5 hours drive to our house last night, so we didn't want to set off too early. We should be there in plenty of time still. We have ummed and ahed all week about doing this, obviously helped by the fact that Chris has stayed at ours that we were going to do it. The weather is down for nothing but rain all weekend, and my cart, and I don't think I particularly like racing it wet anymore, so we're going to have to see. We're not sure how it'll go. I've taken some man-up tablets. We're going to buy a new tyre because the back tyre is not much cop, so we're going to put a new tyre on it, which will certainly help, and then we're going to do as best. So Cara's made us a nice big stew, so plenty of stew for tea, and then we'll go from there. So we're just going to go to the petrol station, get some petrol and some diesel for the van, and then literally off we go. We don't, both me and Chris are the same, we don't really like stopping too much, so we're just going to get on road and hammer it. Watch this space. Another race day, another cup holder situation, Mark II. These things, absolutely brilliant. Milwaukee, keeps your coffee warm forever. We don't fit in my cup holders. So obviously while you're all watching a little bit of the video of us driving in convoy, just like to say a massive thank you to the people that you don't always see, and we probably don't get enough thanks. Cara, for example, has sent us with some stew for us to eat tonight. She cooked that last night in the slow cooker. She sent me with a cup of coffee this morning. She's helped me pack the van. Just because she's not there today doesn't mean she doesn't support us. I can't thank such as Cara and my family enough for the amount of support that they give us. So yeah, just while you're watching that, I just thought I would make a point of saying a massive thank you. Cheers. Look at Bonnet, Scotland. So we're here after many hours of driving. It is nearly 2 o'clock and we are in Cowdenbeath. So yeah, Cowdenbeath is not the furthest racetrack we've ever been to, because obviously that was Crimond. But it's the second time we've been here. We've only ever done Crimond once. No, third time. Like I said, not normally have much luck here, but we will just see. We're not going to be able to do many videos of the racing, well, no videos of the racing, because we have obviously all come up in our onesies, so there's not really going to be many people spare, but there will hopefully be plenty on the internet, to be fair. Looks like the good news for us as well is we've turned up and we will be able to get straight in. It looks very busy already, so no faffing for us. We'll be able to get straight in, get parked up, and we're probably going to try and get some new tyres fitted, just in case it rains. We want as much grip as we possibly can. So nice and dry at Cowdenbeath at the moment, and then as soon as we get close to racing, I don't think it's going to stay dry, is it? So as it stands, We're perfectly dry. That's the famous wall. It hurts a lot. So hopefully you can't hear music too much, so I don't get told off by YouTube and the silly rules now that even if there's only 5 seconds of music, they're banning them. So that music just plays up, so I'll just mute it for a sec.
Why don't you just have another beer then?
And then, if you're into racing, or you just open your curtains probably, you'll probably know it rained. And it weren't just us. Cowdenbeath gets extremely slicky, to be fair. Northampton was nearly cancelled. Got slipping and sliding at Taunton. Even the British touring cars had a nightmare. Oh, race 1 damage. We got put into the wall and it threw all the tracking out, but it mainly took the chain off, so we had to stop. It was very wet and greasy. To be honest, it was very slow racing, and there's a hell of a lot of spins. Probably didn't look great. I'm hoping it dries up now. Second race, we never really got going. So first race, we were second with about 3 laps to go. It was slow, it was tedious because it was that wet, but we were second with about 3 laps to go, and we got put into the wall and it took us chain off. We didn't hit wall that hard, we just hit it really awkwardly and it took us chain off, so we had to sit there, watch the last 3 laps. So we lost a decent position there, I think. That race, I think some damage from the first race didn't really help. We started on inside, which the inside's just not drivable today. You need to be on outside. We couldn't get on outside quick enough, but we heard a noise, we heard a clunk, and there was just something not right. I actually thought the tyre that we hit the wall with had gone down, so I pulled off. It doesn't look like it was, but we think there were some kind of issue with the steering where the ball joints have got wedged together, like bent slightly, and it sort of freed itself up, but then it were clunky and it's probably got stuck wrong way around. So I'll just show you what roughly I mean. So this bit here, these two are wedged. They're meant to be on top of each other and you're meant to be able to move them, but they've sort of wedged themselves together. So that meant the steering was sort of juddering, which in the wet is absolutely no good whatsoever. We've also had to tighten one of the plugins up as well again, so, and then we've trapped it. So let's hope that's a little bit better this time. It just didn't feel right. I don't want to scare you, but we're domesticated, so we're just making Mr. Butcher a cup of tea. We've just had some stew made by Cara, which was absolutely awesome. So yeah, we're all domesticated. It's like winter out there, to be fair, so it's nice to just get a cup of tea, cup of coffee. All what the darling other half has sorted us. Can't thank her enough for getting us all kitted out for this weekend. Thank you, Cara.
A few moments
Day
later.
2. Like I said, we can't get a lot of racing action. It's the European today, so we'll try and get the European for the saloons on there at least. But yesterday's damage was we bent a plug-in and the steering column itself was bent like a banana, which would have contributed to the clunky steering, so that didn't help. Today so far is looking nice and dry, so it's going to be a different beast today, so let's see how it goes.
Sport second might be the place to be going into the final bend. Number 1 though doesn't make contact into the home straight. Dash to the line and Duddy just gets it for inches from the number 1 car with the 17 and 3rd. A very close finish in the senior Stoxkart.
Stoxkarts European Championship under green flags with 3 abreast into what a height for 7-11. Anthony McIver hitching a lift on 116. Diggy Smith, incredible crash. You can see Anthony McIver moving in the car. Backwards down the track and then pokes on the grass. Shot down the back straight, the bumper goes in from 260 chest to love. He's managed to withstand the hit, and 260 takes the Scottish Championship. All cars will be out for the final event of the weekend. They are all comers. So in 3rd place then was the 17 driver in the L grade, Chris Dobson. Well done to Chris. 173 in second. That's Paul Kay. But he held on very well under pressure indeed to take the Scottish Championship for this weekend. It is your race winner, 260, Chester Love. Well done to the Stoxkart drivers, and a huge thank you to Ian Higgins, all the Stoxkart team, and all the drivers and race teams for their support over the course of the weekend.
So that's been Scotland. Not sure you can see the video, certainly won't do it justice, but this is one hell of a view. I've been to some places, and this takes some beating. So you can see the bridge that we're going to be going on. You can see, when you're in the van, you can see the old Forth Bridge, I think it's called, on the other side. You can also see, I'm guessing, another newer bridge that they've built. But yeah, this is a heck of a view just here. Always quite nice. It means we've got to racing when we see it, and it means we're on his way home when we do it. So thank you, Scotland. The monkey is off the back from last time. Obviously I'll do a proper rundown without boring you all too much, but yeah, if we get a chance to just drive up this road, well worth a visit. About 15-20 minutes from the other side of this bridge is nothing but lovely hills and fields and stuff like that. Some beautiful scenery up here. It's a shame I can't turn the camera, but the picture to my side now of the Forth Bridge and the other bridge next to it going across as well. Stunning. Stunning Scotland. So let's start with Cowdenbeath on Saturday. Yeah, terrible. So no massive shot really. Arcs just weren't racing. There were one line and it were all way round the edge. Which meant that if you, as soon as you stepped inside, you just span or you lost it. So it were a bit roundy and there weren't a lot of chance for a lot of to go at. First race we were second because it weren't massively wet, and then a yellow came out and unfortunately we got pushed into the wall, which took his chain off. That were quite frustrating because I don't think there were a lot of laps left. I think it were 2 or 3. And I think we might have struggled to hold on to second, but we'd have definitely had a good result. But the chain came off, we ended up in middle. Second race, atrocious. A little bit of damage that we didn't realise was there from the first race caused me to not really get a grip, not really set off, and I pulled off after just a lap. Went to steer it, and it didn't really steer, it just clicked and thudded. So I was like, I actually thought, to be fair, the way it was so stiff that the tyre had gone down from the one that had hit the wall. So I didn't want to go all the way down the back straight in the rain and lose it and hit it. So I pulled off, and unfortunately it's not till end of race you realise what's actually gone wrong. Third race, we just got bullied. We weren't quick enough, so people just shoved us out of the way. I don't like rain. The kart don't like rain. Add the two together and rain is just something we can't get the gist of. We've said it before, said it again. We cannot get the setup in the wet on that kart to make any difference at all. No matter what we do, it's always the same. And I know that they're not settled in the rain, but we can't get it even like semi-medium. So to be honest, moving forward, if there's any rain, any tracks during the year, we're not going to go. Everyone's complaining that there's a drought, but we've actually already had more wet races this season in our formula than what I can remember all the last season at least. So yeah, there might be a drought in certain areas, guys, but not on the racetrack when we're racing, unfortunately. But that was Saturday. So then on to Sunday. So Sunday were dry, completely different to the Saturday, and you could tell straight away it were going to be a lot quicker. We put the dry setting on, AJ had a look through it all, and we put it back to exactly how we had it at Bradford. We thought that were a safe bet. Went out in the first race, we managed to get into the front really quickly, and in the words of the actual commentator, before the yellow flag, number 17 was well ahead of the pack and well away. Unfortunately, the yellow flag did come out. We managed to hold on to the lead for a little bit longer, but as you can see in the video, we finished third, not far behind the front two of Duddy and Kai. Nice clean race. Kai put us out wide slightly with a nice clean fair tap, and then I had a chance to come back. So that were a nice finish. Like I said, all three of us in line pretty much. They were slightly in front, but a third is a fantastic result in that race. Second race, as you can see from the footage again, the kart was really fast. We got out into the front, but this time we were lucky to stay there. We didn't get a yellow, and we finished first. So that's the second win in 2 meetings. So added to the third that we'd got earlier, that were fantastic, and we knew that that would set us up in a decent enough position in the Scottish, even though we'd had such a bad Saturday, but nobody had had a good Saturday as such. So we started on the 4th row inside. So we knew that plenty of pushing would be coming. We knew that as long as we stayed solid and strong and didn't get involved in any silliness, we'd be all right. We managed on the first couple of corners to get up into the top 3, and then a push put us out wide, and then we struggled to get back in as a few people went up the inside of us. We just couldn't get back in. Managed to get in at about 8th or 9th, I think, and then we just battled away. We knew we had the pace. Strangely enough, we definitely had the pace, certainly on most of the pack. The only two that I think had a bit more pace than me on the day, really, was such as Kai, Duddy and maybe Kay. Kai was unfortunately in the middle, so we just kept going. We just kept battling away, and we managed to get up to 3rd. The last minute lunge in the last corner, I knew what to do. I knew how to time it to just right, and I went in as best I could, but unfortunately the front two of Chester and Kay were just too close to each other that when I shoved them, I couldn't shove them hard enough because it was 2 carts against 1. So unfortunately they managed to get through. So well done to Chester for winning. He were quick. He was one of the ones that put us out wide fairly early on. You could tell he was on a mission. So well done to Chester. Well done to Paul. And obviously we got 3rd in the Scottish. So for all the bad start to the season, we literally now have had a 3rd in the Scottish, a 5th in the British, and 2 wins in the last 2 weeks. The grading's come out. We are pretty much, or had enough points to be a red due to existing champions and old champions and stuff like that being signed on and not necessarily racing. It has meant we are staying as a blue because there's not enough room in the reds, but I'll take that. We've missed a lot of this season and we've still got enough points to be essentially a red. The Scottish was brilliant. That's all I can say. It was absolutely fantastic. So we had some really good racing. Saturday, one to forget. Sunday, brilliant. Again, as well, we've got to say thank you to Mr. Butcher. We went up in convoy with Mr. Butcher and he helped out. The kart hire driver, I hope we made the experience good for you, mate. Unfortunately, obviously, the damage on Saturday in the first race meant he couldn't carry on, but he really enjoyed himself on Sunday. We're good to see someone smiling. AJ, as always, came over and sorted a few bits and bobs out. Obviously, we had to do some work to the kart after Saturday, including we had a bent steering column, as you've seen, and he was managed to settle us down, tell us it was sorted, and that really helped on the Sunday. So thanks again to AJ as well. So what's the rest of the season look like? Just really quickly, guys, we are going to try and do one of the days in Skeggy, but I'm not going to lie, we are meant to be doing something else that weekend, so we might be doing a Sunday at Skeggy. Other than that, we've not got a lot of races now till August on our calendar. As previously said, and I don't want to keep going on about it, but we did spend all our budget this year from sponsorship and everything just to get our kart and the Ian Higgins kart that we used in the final fix. So we don't really have a lot of budget left for the season. So we are going to have to really have a look and be sensible on where we race now. We have got sponsorship available if anybody's interested. We've got a couple of places on the kart because it was just a mixed start to the season where we didn't ask for as much sponsorship as normal because we thought everything was sorted, and then obviously we got hit a bit more than what we thought. So if you do want to sponsor us, you can. Other than that, we are quite settled with what we are doing, to be fair, even though we are doing less as well. We're trying to enjoy it this year. We're not trying to race and chase the roofs. It has been helped that our local track, Buxton, has obviously changed the track layout, and we're not quite as big of a fan of it as what we were, so we're not going to be rushing up there all the time. But we do have to bear in mind the goal top is up there, and we have already locked ourselves into the go top at some point somewhere. Currently we are already 4th row, I think, but we aren't going to be racing many more of the championship ones. We will be definitely doing Ipswich, and we will try and get out as much as we can. But moving forward now, we've got a nice relaxed time to get us blue roof on and just give it a good once over, and then we'll see where it ends up. Thanks for your support and thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. So this is the point where I'd just like to thank all my sponsors. Betty's Surf have been sponsoring us for a long time. Liquid Molly, Cooper's Filters. We've also got Auto Tech and Northern Monkey Tuning. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to race. Thank you.